You might be about to make a fatal spiritual mistake, and you don't even know it. In your room, right now, there could be objects that are silently destroying your peace, corrupting your soul, and opening the doors to evil forces you never imagined facing. These 5 items, which many consider harmless, might be inviting darkness into your home, but there is still time to act. If you don't remove these now, the consequences could be devastating. I will show you exactly what they are and how they are impacting your spiritual life in ways you never suspected. Stay with me, because what I'm about to reveal could change your destiny forever. Let's start by talking about dream catchers. These objects come from Native American culture and were designed to protect against nightmares. But my brothers and sisters, we need to understand that any object that claims to have spiritual power without the authority of Christ could be putting us at risk. Dream catchers, instead of protecting, could be inviting unwanted spiritual influences into your home. In the absence of knowledge, people might ask, what are the potential spiritual risks associated with keeping dream catchers in my home? Well, keeping dream catchers at home can open doors to demonic influences because these objects are used to manipulate the spiritual realm without the authority of Christ, which can result in spiritual oppression. Another item that seems harmless but hides spiritual dangers is burning sage. Many people turn to this practice with the intention of purifying the environment, driving away negative energies. It might seem harmless, but we need to understand what lies behind it. Sage is often associated with witchcraft and occult rituals. Did you know that? You see, when you burn sage, you are placing your faith in a pagan ritual, not in Jesus Christ. The Bible teaches us that only Jesus is our refuge, our fortress, and it is in Him that we must trust to protect us from any harm. This practice is rooted in traditions that stray from Christ's teachings, leading us to place our faith in something that is not God. And by doing so, we open spiritual doors that could bring consequences we do not expect. Did you know that reading certain books can also endanger your soul? Books about witchcraft, magic, or the occult, even when presented as fiction or curiosity, can corrupt our spirit and open doors to demonic influences. The Bible warns us against filling our minds with what is impure. When we expose ourselves to these works, we are allowing the enemy to sow doubts, fears, and false beliefs in our lives. And this is not a new issue. Look at what happened in Acts 19, when the 7 sons of Sceva tried to cast out a demon without the authority that comes from God. They were overpowered because they did not have divine protection. The same can happen when we involve ourselves with books and practices that do not originate from Christ. Now think with me. How many acts of violence have you seen on television or the internet? Studies show that by the age of 18, the average American has witnessed 200,000 acts of violence. Isn't that alarming? And what about entertainment with demonic or occult themes? When we expose ourselves to this kind of content, we are not only desensitizing ourselves to evil, but also opening spiritual doors for the enemy to find breaches in our lives. The media, which should only be a form of leisure, can turn into a vehicle for spiritual attacks. In 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 12, the Apostle Paul advises us, "Everything is permissible for me, but not everything is beneficial." Therefore, completely remove this type of content from your life. The presence of occult themes in the media can be a gateway for evil influences, desensitizing us to evil and drawing us away from God. Finally, let's talk about idolatrous statues and ornaments. Many believe these pieces are just harmless decorations, but the reality is they can carry deep spiritual meanings, especially if they are associated with other religions or rituals. Having these objects in your home can also be a way to make space for demonic spirits to enter our home. As Christians, we are called to distance ourselves from all forms of idolatry and not to give the enemy any foothold. Dear brother, dear sister, what we are discussing here is not about fear, but about discernment. What you allow inside your room, your most intimate space, can directly influence your spiritual life. It is time for a spiritual cleansing. Remove these items from your home. Trust only in Jesus Christ for your protection, and live a life of full faith, leaving no room for the enemy. I kindly ask you to show your support, like this video, subscribe to our channel, and share this essential message. Every action you take helps spread the gospel, reaching more hearts and strengthening God's kingdom here on earth. Thank you from the bottom of my soul for watching this far. If this video made sense to you, feel free to share it with someone who needs to hear this message. And remember, in all things, trust in the Lord, for He alone is our true protection. God bless you and your family.